Simone tapping back in with a new video. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe down below and touch that notifications button so you won't miss no content. Today I decided to do a get ready with me. I'm actually on my way out the door, but I thought I could come on and actually do a makeup routine, and actually this is the finished look. If you would like to see how I achieve this look, go ahead and keep watching. I now have on my headband I got from Ulta. I sometimes use this to do my facials, but I'm pushing my hair back so it won't be in my way. Also, I'm going to put on some Germ-X on my hands so I won't get any germs from touching surfaces on my face as I'm applying my makeup. Now on to prepping my face. I have oily skin, so sometimes my makeup comes off a little shiny. So I use NYX Shine Killer to first base out my face before I put on the Calamine Lotion. The Calamine Lotion actually dries out my face, so when I'm putting my foundation and concealer on, the oils from my face will not disrupt my makeup. I try to use as little as possible and try to buff it out as much as possible. You don't want the patchy look under your makeup. It definitely does not come out well. That's why you see I use as little as possible and allow it to dry down all the way. I am skipping the filling in of my eyebrows. They're actually micro shaded, so I'm going straight into concealing my eyebrows. I use multiple concealers to conceal my eyebrows depending on how tanned I am. I'll be using the first two to do the top half of my eyebrows first. Using Morphe's M421 concealer brush, I conceal the top half of my eyebrows. I use darker concealer because I want to avoid the whole halo effect that you see sometimes. I use a lighter concealer to do the bottom half, which it will make my eyebrows look very, very sharp and uniform. As you see, I am super focused. I don't even think I'm breathing right here. But yes, you most definitely don't want to mess up on your eyebrows, guys. I swear, if you mess this up, micro shaded or not, you got to start all the way over. Nobody likes ugly brows. To buff out the concealer around my eyebrows, I use a buffer brush from Real Techniques. I use a lot of brushes from Real Techniques and Morphe. Real Techniques definitely is a good store brand product. They have really good brushes. I'm using Juvia's Place Foundation in the shade Malawi. I only need really like 1 or 2 squirts of foundation just to get a full coverage look. I'm also using Morphe's M439 buffer brush. With these two products, I'm able to get a seamless look without a lot of product. Full disclaimer before anyone is in my comments, my brushes are not dirty. I literally used them for another look for another video the day before and didn't really feel like cleaning them just to reuse them. So just full disclaimer. As you can see, literally full coverage with basically 2 squirts of foundation. I love Juvia's Place. I'm using NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Concealer in Deep Espresso to start off my contour. It's super important you pick a contour shade that's only 1 shade darker because it can actually mess up your entire look if you go any darker. When doing your contour, placement is definitely key. I want to make my forehead super small, so I put a little bit more of my contour concealer on my forehead. Also, I really like this concealer because it doesn't dry down too fast and it's able to move really good with my brushes. Speaking of brushes, I really like Morphe's M6 flat buffer brush. The flat top makes it really easy to move my concealer. it really moves that product upward and wherever I really need it to go. Some people don't like dense brushes for your contour, but for me it really works because I won't have to worry about those harsh lines because it's really moving the product. The overall technique I use to contour my nose honestly starts with me contouring almost my entire nose and using a really thin concealer brush with the highlight concealer shade and making a really thin and uniform line going down the bridge of my nose and then buffing it out. I know it sounds a little weird, but it actually works for me. If you would like a more in-depth foundation slash highlight contour type video, comment below and I can get that to you soon. The secret to highlighting your face is you only want to highlight parts of your face that you want to bring attention to, and for contour you want to basically shadow and hide those parts of your face. So as you can see, I only highlighted a small part of my forehead because I wanted my forehead to look really small. I actually let the concealer dry down for about a minute before buffing it out because I wanted that opaque full coverage type concealer and I didn't want to really over highlight my face. I'm using my buffer brush from Real Technique to actually pat out the concealer. Do not swipe, but actually pat to really move that product. I'm going back in with my foundation brush to actually kind of marry together my contour and my highlight concealer so it won't be any harsh lines. I'm gonna go back in with my contour brush to kind of clean up the edges of my face to make sure I didn't miss any spots. As I stated earlier, I'm using my really small concealer brush to use my highlighting concealer to do this really sharp line down the bridge of my nose to finish out my nose contour. It's gonna really make my nose look really snatched without going overboard. For my nighttime looks, I like my contour to be a little bit more snatched on the sides of my face. So I'm using the next darkest concealer in Deep Walnut, just literally dots of it because I don't want it to look too harsh. And I'm going to buff that back out with my flat buffer brush from Morphe. I love DermaBlend's Warm Saffron Setting Powder. The shade on me looks great, especially to bake my under eye and the rest of my highlighted areas. I used to have to mix Morphe's darkest shade and Sacha Buttercup to get this shade. So I'm definitely glad I finally found a setting powder that I don't have to do any messy mixing. After putting on my setting powder with a dry beauty blender, I'm gonna let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes as I go ahead and set my contour concealer with the next to the darkest bronzer in Morphe's Pro Face palette. Using my Angle Real Techniques face brush, I'm going to pat in my bronzer to set my concealer. So the trick is for wherever you put concealer, you want to set it with a powder so it will not move throughout the day, especially if you're oily like myself. Same thing applies for my nose contour. I'm gonna use a smaller detailed buffer brush from Morphe to set the concealer on the sides of my nose to make sure that my concealer do not move throughout the day, especially since I wear glasses. Using another angled brush, I'm only going to do one tap of the contour shade of the Morphe palette, only one tap. I really wanted to bring definition to the contour on the sides of my face. I wanted my face to be super snatched and super glam for tonight. Using a fluffy brush from Real Technique, I'm going to brush off all the excess setting powder from baking in my highlighted areas. I will be using one of my favorite blending brushes from Morphe and my Holy Grail eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place for tonight's look. I'm going to use a neutral shade from my Morphe's 350 eyeshadow palette to give myself a blank canvas before starting my eyeshadow look. Using my Morphe's M573 blender brush, I'm going to use a brick color transition shade out of the eyeshadow palette in the creases of both of my eyes. After blending out that transition shade, I'm gonna go into my Juvia's Place Nomad palette to really use that chocolate brown shade to add definition to that crease. As I'm creating this eye look, you will see me going back and forth between the chocolate brown shade and my transition shade out of my Morphe and Juvia's Place palettes because I want to give that seamless blended look without any harsh lines. Using a shadow brush from Morphe, I'm going to use the orange eyeshadow shade out of my Nomad palette to give my eyelids a pop of color. As you can see, I'm really using that brush to pack in that color. I'm gonna actually go in with the yellow shade as well to give it a little bit more brightness. Again, going back in with my transition shade to really bring those colors together. The idea is you don't want any harsh lines. To bring in my eyeshadow look, I'm going to use NYX liquid eyeliner. I really like this one because of the really short applicator. I'm going to do a really sleek and short wing eyeliner, especially since I'm going to have on really dramatic lashes. So I don't use black eyeliner or a cold pencil on my lower lash line. I only use my bronzer or my contour shade or some other dark brown eyeshadow to really make my bottom lash line pop. I really feel like having that black eyeliner look makes my eyes look a lot smaller. So I try to avoid that at all costs. I'm using L'Oreal True Match pressed powder in the color C8, which is cocoa, to really bring together all the different powders and looks to give my skin that flawless look I'm looking for in person and of course on camera. I never skip this step when doing my makeup, especially in the summertime. I love Morphe's Continuous Setting Mist. Definitely mattifies and set my makeup before leaving the house. Oily girls, definitely go buy this. While my face is still damp, I'm going back into my Morphe's face palette. As you can tell, I love this palette. I'm using both of the highlighter shade, the pink and the gold shade, to hit those sides of my face, my brow bone, and the bridge of my nose to really make my face shine. I definitely don't want to go overboard, but with this highlighter, you definitely don't need much. Even though I'm wearing lashes, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my mascara, especially for my top lashes, because after my full foundation and concealer and powders, my top lashes are technically brown. So before I even put on my false lashes, I'm going to hit those lashes first with my mascara. I really like this mascara because it has really small teeth that can catch my really short lashes. These are my Holy Grail lashes from Lash Barb in the style Goody. Love these lashes, super volume without basically being too dramatic. Yes, I still use hair glue. Been using it for 10 years, so don't judge me. The hardest part of my makeup routine is figuring out what type of lip color I'm going to do. No matter what, I always start with my brown lip liner. I have one from NYX, MAC, even a dollar one from my local beauty supply store. I probably have like 5 or 6 of them. But no matter what, I always start with my brown lip liner. Y'all, it's 2021. Leave the black lip liner alone. It's not 1998. Let it go. So with my brown lip liner, I'm going to go in with my nude lip crayon from Morphe to do like a nude base for my nude pink lip color look that I think I'm gonna go for. Definitely comfortable. It dries a little bit matte, but not uncomfortable, dried out matte. I'm going in with my pink lip gloss from E.L.F. It's only $3. Definitely cute, definitely a daytime look. But I think I'm gonna go with something a little bit more dramatic. Using my Holy Grail liquid lip gloss from MAC and Feel So Grand. I love this liquid lipstick. It goes on like an actual lip gloss and dries down matte. I love this color on me. Every girl should have a really nice red lipstick. And as you can tell, I look great in it. So I went ahead and finished getting dressed off camera. Really cute for a weekend out, whether it's date night or you just going out with friends for a drink. I feel like this is really cute without really doing too much. I was gonna go with the nude pink look with a brown lip liner, but I felt like for this look, it would be so fun. It would just bring it all together, which it did, if I did a red lip. I feel like every girl should have a really cute red lip. This is Feel So Grand by MAC. It is a liquid matte lipstick, so of course it goes on like a regular lip gloss, and then it dries matte. So like barely any transfer. So if you're out with Bay, you don't want to get lipstick all over him, this is a really good choice. Love it. Bought like 3 of them. So yeah, so this is the final look. Cute animal print top, earrings from Fashion Nova, purse from Fashion Nova, and just a regular watch on my wrist. Nothing too too much since I have on red lips and a really busy shirt. So yes, so I'm gonna try to remember to start recording myself getting dressed. It's just, I always forget. So if you really like this get ready with me, you want to see more looks, go ahead and comment below and let me know what you think. And so yeah, I will see y'all at the next video, and thanks for watching.